Imagine a world in the near future where the overconsumption of food has destroyed our land, poisoned our bodies, and ruined entire ecosystem. Do you think humans will still be able to survive under such conditions?
The best way to define overconsumption is per the Oxford Dictionary definition: the action of consuming something to excess. According to research, the overconsumption of food and its consequences is one of the major components for climate change, water stress, land use, biodiversity loss, soil erosion, deforestation, and the depletion of fish stocks. We can clearly see that the overconsumption of food is affecting our environment. But not only that, it affects us in many different ways, as we'll see later on. In the UK alone, we wasted around 13 billion worth of food that could have been eaten in 2015. Also in 2015, households threw away an estimate of 7.3 million tons of food, a number which has been increasing year on year. In 2016, 71% of food wastage in the UK came from households, nearly three-fourths. The other big source of waste came from manufacturers at 17%.
A recent study surrounding the topic of generational attitudes to food waste found that the millennials are the biggest contributors when it comes to throwing away food and contributing to 7.3 million tons of food wasted by UK households each year. The reason behind this is apparently an obsession with social media, Instagram, culture, and a live to it attitude. According to the study of 2016 by Sainsbury's, found that those in the age group of 18 to 34 say that they live to eat rather than eat to live. This attitude can be described by the way that this age group is particularly interested in photographing food for social media. Why this generation is the biggest contributor to this amount of food waste involves multiple aspects about their lifestyle, such as the fact that they typically all move away from home where they may face practical barriers such as lack of storage space in fridges in multi-person households, such as university accommodations. For those living in urban or suburban areas, how much food goes uneaten is also dependent on local provision. Instead of big family shops, this demographic is more likely to pick up items as when they need them at a small in-town supermarket.
Overconsumption has three main negative effects. The first one concerns our body. 27% of the UK population has a body mass index of 30 and above. The UK is thus the most obese country in Western Europe, according to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Furthermore, it is very costly. The World Obesity Forum predicted that unless effective action is taken, the cost of treating ill health caused by obesity in the UK will rise from 14.8 billion to 24.2 billion per year in 2025. Finally, concerning the earth health, overconsumption is synonym with pollution, and our current food system can be described with the following words: increasing in the distance traveled by food between the field and the plate, global warming, reduction of dietary diversity.
The fact that 30.8% of food bought in the UK is thrown away according to The Guardian.
Those many disadvantages thus impact the public health as well as the earth health.
The videos that are about to follow pose the following questions to different groups of people.
Do you believe that food wastage is a problem in the UK?
I do actually, yeah.
No.
Well, yes, it is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And how much food would you personally waste on a weekly basis?
I try not to. Usually it's because I buy a bunch of food at the start of the week and then I don't plan out my meals well enough, so that I just have too much and it's gone bad before I can use it.
Not really.
I always try not to, so anything that looks like it might get thrown away I just tend to eat.
I try not to.
Yeah.
If you were to waste food, what type of food do you think you would waste?
So it's like half of a vegetable packet.
Probably the worst thing is bread.
Probably mainly bread and milk.
Probably a large meal that I couldn't finish.
Okay. Like from a restaurant or?
Yeah, probably from a restaurant. Some takeaway.
Yeah.
There are many small and big steps that consumers can take in order to alleviate the problem. One of the large steps that communities can take are price correcting strategies. In the south of India, in the state of Kerala, a fat tax has been implemented on burgers, pizzas, donuts, and tacos served in branded restaurants. The recently elected communist government says the 14.5% tax is aimed at making people more conscious about food choices. Although price-correcting strategies generally are successful, there are difficulties experienced in getting legislation passed and in generating compliance with taxation.
Some small steps that we as consumers can take on a daily basis are, for example, planning our meals and thus creating a comprehensive shopping list that reduces the purchases of unnecessary groceries. Trying to stick to a sustainable diet, eating more plant-based foods and less processed food will reduce the carbon footprint. For all of these different strategies, success depends upon the consumers valuing the resource conservation goals and being willing to curb their consumption levels for the greater good of the community and the environment.